everybody, welcome back. Anthony Griffin, Kim Matheson Associates, Allen Tate, Greensboro, North Carolina. And I wanted to come back with another video today, which is titled Common Loan and Financing Mistakes that Buyers Make While Under Contract. So there's quite a few different things we're going to get into today, and it mainly deals with loans and the loan process while you're under contract on a home. So one of the biggest common mistakes is large credit purchases or payoffs after you're under contract. This can affect you in a variety of ways. With large credit purchases, most people think of it in terms of making a big purchase, like you're buying a car or truck. Maybe you went out and got that boat that you really wanted or something along those lines. Large purchases like that can affect you because now you're affecting your debt to income ratio, and it can cause you to either have a lower credit score, which in turn hurts your interest rate, or it can cause you to have such a high debt to income ratio that you actually no longer qualify for the home loan. So you always want to consult your lender before making any large purchases while you're under a contract on a home. It doesn't always have to be something as grand as a boat or a car or something like that. It could be a first-time home buyer and you're thinking, I really want a nice living room set or a really nice bedroom set to go into this house that I'm purchasing. That can still be enough to throw it just out of whack to where you're no longer getting the interest rate that you deserve, and you no longer have the credit score that you had at the beginning of the buying process. So a good way to avoid that is to look to purchase those pieces of furniture after the closing of the house. That way, at least you've already secured the major focus of the purchase that you're looking at, and you can still hopefully get those other items down the road versus causing you to miss out on the house because you really wanted the couch. Next item on the list is change in job status. So this can affect you in a variety of ways. It doesn't always have to be something that you have control over, unfortunately. So in terms of what you can control, if you're deciding or looking at changing jobs during the process of purchasing a home, one of the biggest pieces of advice I can give to you is consult your mortgage advisor about it. But in most terms and instances, they're going to tell you to avoid it until after you close on the house. And the reason for that is because for the most part, your loan should have already been through the underwriting process. So they have already verified your current employment. They've already verified your current pay status and pay rate. Whereas when you go and purchase, or when you go and get a new job and you're under this microscope while you're trying to purchase the home, they're going to have to start that process all over again. So they're going to be re-verifying employment, re-verifying pay status and pay rates. But especially because of the times we're in currently, with COVID still being prevalent, you can run the risk of underwriting really heavily scrutinizing any new jobs. So where they may have only required 30 or 60 days of pay stubs to show valid employment, they might be looking at 90 or even 120. So that can more than double your closing time frame, which in some instances can cause the seller to back away and say, hey, I'm going to look for another qualified buyer, and you miss out on your home. Now, the other side of this, the changing job status, is if you happen to be furloughed or let go from the position that you're currently employed with, definitely let your lender and your agent know as soon as possible, because there may be some ways to help to resolve the issue. If you get in contact with your agent and the lender soon enough, perhaps there's something they can work out with the seller or selling agent to extend that time frame to give you the ability to fill that job status and find a new position. So the sooner you can give somebody that information, the better off they are, and being able to help you and guide you towards ultimately still getting that home that you want. Next one that a lot of people don't really consider is the change in applicants. This happens a lot with couples, and specifically married parties, where maybe the husband and or the wife started off wanting to buy the house by themselves. They really wanted it just in their name. They wanted the loan just in their name, and went out, secured the loan, went under contract on the house, and determined, well, hey, my spouse makes a bit more money, or maybe they have a bit better of a credit score, and by combining those two together, maybe you get a much better interest rate and monthly payment overall. So this can affect you and hurt your process because you're basically starting from scratch again. Even though you've gone through the underwriting process already, they've already verified all of your payment and job employment histories. Now they have to start all over again, look at you instead of being as a single person. Now they're looking at you as a married party, and they're looking at your spouse's income, they're looking at their job status and verifying employment and payment histories with them as well. So you're basically resetting the clock. And in terms of the time frame for a loan to succeed, most homes or most loans are done within about 45 to 60 day window. So if you're dealing with a situation where you're already 20 days past the contract date, the majority of the background work by the lender has already been done. And now restarting that process could add another 3 weeks to a month to the ability to be able to close on the loan. So that's why you always want to consult your lender and let them know of any changes you want to make as soon as possible. Also consult with your real estate agent as soon as possible as well, so they can express that information to the selling agent, and that way everybody's still on the same page. Now the very last one to really consider is changing lenders. So why this is important is everybody wants to get the best rate possible, and there's quite a few different lenders and rates that you can achieve depending on the type of loan you're looking at and the type of lender you choose to go with. The problem is not with shopping around, but deciding you want to change lenders after that lender that you've already secured the loan with has done the underwriting process and has appraised the home. Because in most cases, by going through a different lender at this point, they're restarting the underwriting process and they're getting a different appraisal. So that can add weeks, if not months, to the process and cause you to miss your closing date. So once you're already under contract and once the appraisal process has started, that's when you really need to be 100% locked in on that specific lender. If you're not sold on using that lender or getting that type of loan, you definitely want to be shopping around and get that solidified before an appraisal is ordered, because at that point you're adding weeks to the process. So these are just a couple of quick tips to keep in mind while you're going through the contract process, what can help you to meet and exceed your expectations as far as the loan process goes, and still being able to close on time. So thanks a lot for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great week.